You're building a personal brand, but whenever you're posting, not a lot of people comment or engage with your post or videos. So today, I'll be discussing how do you make your posts and your videos relatable so then you can get engagement from your audience. I'm Melon and I'm the co-founder of the Melry Studio, and we are a content creative agency focusing on storytelling content and helping you build a personal brand. So today, let's dive into 8 tips that I'm going to be giving you and sharing. These tips have helped me craft engaging posts on LinkedIn. So I have grown my LinkedIn more than 2,000% since I started being active on LinkedIn. So that's more than a couple of years ago, and I have maintained steady growing increase of followers. So my impressions are growing and the engagements are growing. So what strategies that I've been using to make my posts engaging? Here is tip number 1. Understand your audience needs. So whenever you start posting, whenever we have a client, whenever we come up with a video or craft a video or even craft a post, we try to think of what the audience need is. And we want to address that first. For example, the last workshop that I did, Louder Workshop, I asked first, what do my audience need? So when I wanted to do videos, I wanted to offer videos because I see videos as a powerful tool to help my audience elevate their personal brand. But what aspect of the video production of personal branding can help them achieve that? So I surveyed potential attendees, I surveyed my friends and colleagues, and then I found out that this is what they need. So whenever you're planning to post or whenever you're crafting a content strategy, understand what your audience needs are. Understand what they're struggling with. With these ideas, when you list them down, you'll unbelievably come up with several post ideas. My second tip is share your own journey. So people like to hear stories. They connect with stories better than you should do this or you should do that. So whenever you're sharing something, share your own experience. Share the lessons that you've learned. Don't just share the major wins. I know a lot of you who have been watching my channel or a lot of you have known me for a long time know that one of my biggest wins is for me to recover, for us to recover the loss that we incurred in our business when we started our business, because we lost $660,000 when our business ran away with our investment money that we borrowed from the bank, which left us in debt, a really big debt. And when we recovered that, that was one of my biggest wins, because that not only helped us recover or pay the loan, but we also were able to build a business from scratch, which is the Melry Studio, which is our business now for the past 15 years. So that's a big win, but it is also sharing your own micro story will help you relate to your audience. Like one of the stories that was really relatable on LinkedIn that we had a lot of discussion with was ghosting. When a client ghosted us, when we were almost there, like we almost thought the deal was getting closed, and then the client ghosted us, that was a very relatable story that everyone can, well, not everyone, but most business owners can relate to. Tip number 3, speak their language. So we can be tempted to use jargons to make us sound very intellectual, especially if you're building a thought leadership brand. But sometimes you just have to break it down simply. Think of a readability level, like whenever you craft a post, the readability level should be at least 5th grade. So these are some tips of a lot of experts that you should dumb down your post. So then it's relatable to more audience. I know there's of course posts that you want to impress like experts in the field, but if you want more engagement in your post, dumb down your post, or let's say it's not about dumbing down, but make the readability level relatable to more audiences, to a wider audience. Don't make it sound too chat GPT-ish. Make it sound real. How are you talking to your audience? How are you talking to a friend? That's what makes the post or your video more relatable. Tip number 4, show, don't tell. Use real life examples. So whenever we have behind the scenes reel or on Instagram, people relate to it more versus me just talking here on video. So I know this is a talking head video, but I'm sharing the tips and I'm sharing experiences. But I'm sharing our experience as a company. Whenever we share the how-tos, not only the how-tos, but show the how-tos, we engage with our audience on a different level. So whenever we show like how to shoot videos by yourselves, how to craft your content strategies, whenever you show them the how to, not just only telling them, you are building a different connection with your audience, and it's like you are walking them through the process and not just telling them to do things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By not only telling but also showing. Tip number 5, be vulnerable but protect your boundaries. So I've talked about this with several people, several of my friends. I don't like oversharing, and I cringe when someone overshares. At the same time, we want to also be vulnerable. We want to be real to our audience because we want them to relate to us. We want to humanize our personal brand. How do you do that without oversharing? By protecting your boundaries. So like for example, I can talk about motherhood and how it is difficult when you're running a business. I don't want to show my kids on videos a lot. I want to protect their privacy and boundaries. So you must find that boundary for yourself. What for you is oversharing, but you should also be vulnerable at the same time. You can show mistakes without being funny. You can show them your struggles without crying on camera. So how do you be vulnerable but without the cringe? Tip number 6, tell real life stories, everyday stories. So one of the exercises that I learned is telling a micro story every day. So sometimes we say like, I don't have anything to post. What will I share on social media? Because sometimes you want to share, but then you run out of ideas. Think of the mini struggles you face every day. Maybe it's time management. Sometimes it's just about why you're running late all the time and how you have solved that. Or overcoming your fear of rejection and sending that message to the client and, not thinking about if you will get rejected or ghosted. So those are the things that you can share. Like the other day, I had to pat myself at the back because I was able to send 10 messages, cold messages. Well, of course, they're not really cold messages. I met these clients and they are big people, they're big companies from my dream list. And then I said like, you know what? I'm gonna go and send that message. I don't know if they remember me, but I'm gonna go ahead and send them. Well, guess what? Like 5 out of 10 replied back to me at the same day. So it's sometimes we need to overcome the struggles. We need to overcome and think of those small wins. Think of those mini struggles. These are the things that you can share on posts and on videos, which are very relatable. Don't underestimate your audience. When you win, even the small wins, they celebrate with you. Tip number 7, a little bit of humor to your posts. So a lot of people are afraid to add humor to their posts because especially when they're at the C-level or when they're trying to protect their brand, they don't want to be made fun of. But sometimes humor breaks that barrier, makes you reach to your target audience and makes you relatable to more people. So you don't have to be a clown to your posts and videos. You don't have to dance and you don't have to be funny. I know Keanu Reeves. I love Keanu Reeves. And I saw that other side of him on TikTok whenever he shared those funny videos. And even a lot of celebrities have done that. They have added humor when we always thought they were not funny, and then they show a funny side of them. But maybe you don't want to be in that level. You don't want to show that funny side of you because you think that they might lose respect. So you have to find how can you add humor to your posts and videos without sounding or feeling ridiculous. It's important that you have to be you. You have to be yourself in videos. But of course, you want to also be relatable to the camera. So loosen up a bit, add a joke or two. It won't harm your brand. I am a very open person and I don't mind showing the mistakes, the bloopers that we have here in the office, my bloopers. I stutter on video, I make mistakes, I pronounce incorrectly some word, and sometimes my grammar is not perfect. But you know what? Sometimes those things really make you relatable and make you human. So if you will see me making a mistake, forgive me, but that's who I am. And should not be afraid of those mistakes, because that will help us connect with our audience more, and that will help us build that relationship of trust with them. My final tip for today is be consistent but not overwhelming. We want to post every day. We want to be out there every day. We want to show up every day. But sometimes time does not allow us. I'm a business person. I'm homeschooling a couple of kids. At the same time, I wear a lot of hats. Content for me is a priority, but I don't post every day. I do comment and engage every day, and I have set a specific time in the day where I am on social media, commenting and engaging with the audience that I would like to engage with. Sometimes life gets too busy and sometimes it gets overwhelmed. You know what? I forgive myself for not being there. It just matters like you have to adapt to the rhythm that fits your schedule. Whether it's 4 times a week, whether it's 3 times a week, the important thing is you have to be consistent. Stick to that schedule of 3 times a week. You'll see that your audience will wait for that post, will engage with your post, because they know that you'll be showing up every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, or this time of the day that they know that you're showing up. So be consistent, but make sure that you're not overwhelmed, because content creation can be overwhelming and can burn you out, especially if you are just after the numbers, after the vanity metrics, after the metrics, saying like, I posted but no one engaged in my post. Make it enjoyable. So my final tip is, if you want to really make your posts engaging, enjoy the process. So your audience see through what you're posting. They see that if you're just there just to get the likes and the comments, so they see through you. So if you're really giving value, if you're really entertaining, if you just really want to build community, enjoy the process. And that's where the magic happens. I hope you like this video, and please don't forget, again, subscribe to our channel, and we'll share more tips on video content creation, building your personal brand through it. And again, stay tuned for our next video.